Question of the day. What is a sentence that you say often that just happens to be the name of a board game? Because today we're talking about let's go to Japan. Carl and I for years have talked about going to Japan because it just seems awesome. I mean, all the greatest stuff came from Japan. This guy, and this show, and this food. All of it from Japan. Love it, love it, love it. But too many times we just end up going to the Japanese pavilion at Epcot and thinking, man, I wish we could go there instead of looking at expensive Studio Ghibli plates. Ghibli? Somebody correct me here.
Idiot.
And not buying them. Instead, we go home and watch it on Max because I love them. But we want to go there sometime, which is why this game is so interesting. No, you're not fighting Japanese feudal monsters and stuff like in Rising Sun. You're not doing any of that. You're planning a trip to go to Japan. You may go to an anime festival. You may go to a manga shop. You may visit a temple, a shrine, or whatever. You can go eating. You can go shopping. It's just a brilliant idea. It's about planning a trip and then enjoying the trip. And hopefully you plan well enough to where you're not spending a bunch of time running back and forth on public transit or a private train for that matter. So let's take a look at how this plays. We'll come back up, talk final thoughts with our new rubric system as we do. All right, this is Let's Go to Japan. Now it's set up for any amount of players that are in the game because nothing really changes based on player count, which is kind of nice. So currently you have your player board down here, and the whole gist of the game is you're planning a trip to Japan. Now, one player will randomize these symbols down here and everyone will match it. So essentially on Monday, you're trying to visit this symbol, this symbol, this symbol, this symbol, this symbol on those days. The way you do that is by following the round tracker. So in the first turn, you're going to take a Tokyo card and a Kyoto card. You're going to look at them. Then you're going to choose which place you want to put them. Now there's a couple things to consider. One, the symbol in the top left, that's what you're going to get. And when you score the day at the end of towards the end of the game, you're going to actually score everything that's showing on this card and before it. Basically, enjoying your trip so far. So this one, maybe we want to put it here, right? Because it matches the symbol. Once you get 3 of them there, the day is full and you get to choose the bonus. If you have 3 symbols there, you can take a luxury train, an extra walk without the research symbol, or you can choose the lower bonuses. This would bump you up on your enjoyment, which would start here, which basically once you move up to this space, you reset it and then bump this up as high as you end up making it to. Same thing for stress as well. Negative points for stress, positive points for enjoyment. The research tokens and the wild tokens are pretty interesting. Research, you can spin that to draw 3 additional cards and then discard 3 cards, essentially letting you have more options in your hand. One other thing to consider here, stress comes from here. The bottom, this is the day bonus. So let's say this is the top card showing in your day. So let's say we put this on Friday and it is the very top face card. So essentially anything before that, if we have those 3 symbols, we gain 7 points. So that's the way you do it. Plus you'll gain the points in the top right. The goal is to maximize those day bonuses as often as you can. The first one's kind of hard to do unless you can guarantee you get a card there that matches that symbol. However, when you play a new card down, you can play it in the bottom, the middle, or the top of the stack. So you can adjust your day bonus as you go along. Another thing to consider, notice you have Tokyo and Kyoto here. Well, actually this is yellow, so it doesn't count. Another yellow, how about that? Here we go. Let's say you had chosen to do these 2 in the same day. In order to do that, you would have to take a train anytime you travel between Tokyo and Kyoto. You start with a starter train, which is minus no points, or plus no points. So you'd kind of put that there to show that you're traveling. If you choose this bonus, you'll gain the luxury train, which gives you 2 points at the end of the game, plus an enjoyment. If you have to take a train and you don't have any luxury trains, you'll take one of these, which is minus points. So as you go through there, you're going to have to evaluate that at the end. You're going to keep playing until everybody fills up their board with 3, and at most 4 if you choose the extra walk. Another thing you can do is choose to take a walk. So say I'm going to take a walk. So you'll discard one of the cards out of your hand, take one of these cards at random and put it face down. Now when it comes to scoring your day, you'll flip it over, see if you want to use it. If you do, great. If not, you can put it back down and take the 2 points for it. You're going to play until your day, your week is full. Then you're going to run your trip. So essentially you'll count all of these cards, then those, and so on. Counting things such as the points on the cards, if you get the day bonus, and then at the end of the game, you're going to score also for where these are. So these symbols on the top of the card, not only do they help match the day bonus, they're going to bump your enjoyment of the trip up. The higher these symbols are, the more points they're worth at the end of the game. So you could essentially get 15. It's very hard to get all of them at 15, obviously, but you can do that. So it's going to let you bump up those points all the way, just like that. Person with the most points at the end of the game wins the game. That is, let's go to Japan. All right. That is Let's Go to Japan. Concept, it's a 9. I love this idea of planning a trip and then executing the trip. That is just brilliant. Solid idea, solid thinking of, man, there's so many things I want to do in a 6-day period. I don't have time to do it all, so I've got to make some tough choices, and I've got to make enough efficient choices to where I enjoy the trip the most, and I'm not spending a bunch of time on travel. Board layout, solid 8. A lot of things going on here, but it's really straightforward. You have your symbols that mix up, you have your stuff that moves up, and then you have your symbols that show what you get for the day bonus. It's really straightforward, right? You got your 2 different decks. That's so easy. Plus, the round tracker shows you exactly what to do. So really, really solid there when it comes to the board layout. The mechanics, it's an 8.5. Even though this is a very light game, you're going to draw 2 cards, play 1, pass 1. Or draw 4 cards, play 2, pass 2. Or pick up the stack that you've got and play those and pass those, right? It's very straightforward, but I love the thinkiness of, man, I really don't want to spend too much on time on the train, back and forth, or else I'm going to lose points. So to me, that's a really cool idea and concept. Art direction is a 9, solid 9 here. Just a gorgeous looking game. Everything makes sense. All the symbols make sense. You know what to do and what not to do. The only thing that's a little tricky just from looking at it would be the take a walk icon or the take an extra walk icon. But at the end of the day, art direction is a 9. Art covers the components and the art of the game. First of all, the art on the cards, amazing looking art, right? Just bit my tongue, that hurt. Amazing looking art, really, really great stuff. Just a good looking game, plus the components are nice. Now, would I like to have wooden chips instead of the cardboard? Of course I would, and I'm sure somebody has an upgrade for that already. But art, components, a solid 9. Gameplay, an 8 for me. Reason it's an 8, a little lighter than what I would typically play. However, we played this multiple times in a row and couldn't get enough of it. Just a really solid, fun game of playing cards, passing. To me, that's cool, and it's simple and light and easy to teach. Rulebook's an 8.5. Everything in there is what you need to know, and everything you need to know is in there. So pretty straightforward there. Overall, total score is an 8.5. It actually, depending on how you want to slice the rounding, it could be bumped up to almost a 9. You can fudge the numbers a little bit. Somebody can check my math on this, but I'm going to call it an 8.5. Solid game. Let's Go to Japan. Love this game. Make sure to check this game out. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, X, Instagram, social media platform. Insert here, current year. And until next time, it's at Dice Tower Brian. Sorry. Until next time, we'll see you.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.